first ever coffee talk. Cheers.
Cheers.
So this is a new thing we're starting. This is like a video blog, and I thought since we connect so well with Insta stories, we want a more permanent place where we can just talk. And the thing is, Julie and I actually get coffee a good bit. It's like 6 hour long coffee dates.
It's like sparingly done because
we know it lasts like a full day.
It takes a long time.
So, but yeah, you know, when you're in the wedding industry, you like gravitate towards people and you become really good friends with them. Yeah. And Julie is one of those people for me. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself, tell me what you do, and we'll get started and talk about some save the dates.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yes, girl.
This is really exciting for me because for a long time, Jess has been telling me that I need to do more videos and show my face more, and so I'll just do it for her first, and then I'll take it on my own. But I own Invision events, and we are planners and designers. We have planners in Birmingham, Auburn, and Atlanta. And we travel all over pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the gist of it.
Yeah, that's it. And I think one of my first invitation suites was with you when I went full time. So I've been working with you for a while. Also, I forgot to mention what we're drinking today. So it's from Seeds Coffee, which is my personal in town. So we thought we'd kick it off with them. But I'm having my good old almond milk latte because I'm boring. What about you?
I'm having the honey
maple.
No, the brown sugar maple.
That's right.
Brown sugar maple latte. I perused their menu before ordering. Made sure like I'm going to do something different. One of their specialties. Also, if you see shots of my hand in this video, I have some decor left over from our Indian American wedding that we had last weekend, and it's still very beautiful, and I love it.
I love it too. I'm so jealous. I want one too.
I love it.
So today's talk, it's January. It's the beginning of January, and there are a lot of y'all that just got engaged. And I know you're probably busy booking venues, booking planners, and also photographers. But the next thing on your list is going to be your paper because save the dates. And that's the very first thing your guests will see from your big day, which is really cool. Yeah. And it makes them pretty important. So we're going to talk about them. And I'm going to kind of pick Julia's brain about save the dates from a planner perspective, why they're important, and we're just gonna chit chat, give you all the things you need to know about save the dates. So
There it goes.
So why do you tell your clients to do save the dates? What's the point?
Our lives now are just so busy, and it's really a scheduling heads up. Hey, this is coming up. Put this on your calendar. Be thinking if there's any travel involved for your guests, then they need to take that in consideration when they're planning other things or budgeting out where, what travel funds are being used. So any of that is your core reason for sending out a save the date. It's kind of a mini engagement announcement too.
Definitely.
There are some people who aren't on social media, and you get to send maybe a pretty photo of yourself if that's what you choose to do. So there's that part of it. And then you can also include small bits of information that you already know about your wedding that's coming up, or send them to your website, or just little snippets of like, here's some things that are coming up, and they can, keep that in the back of their mind.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like we have a lot of clients that are having a destination wedding, or even having a wedding somewhere where a lot of people will have to travel. And you'll see accommodation cards in wedding suites, but really that save the date does so much for your guests to like get their hotel room booked. That gives them plenty of time to get it booked. I think that's one of like the biggest reasons to send save the dates.
Yes. You're going to want to have a few things figured out about your wedding before you send your save the dates. So whether you're having a hometown wedding or a full-on destination wedding for everybody, someone's going to have to travel to get to your wedding. Not everyone's going to live in that area. So you're going to want to have your hotel blocks already secured and done. You're going to want to have general travel info as to how to get to the area. What dates are you having events happening beyond just that wedding day? Are you having, welcome party? Are you having other things? So you want to give people a little bit of a heads up of what all is going on.
Yeah.
You don't have to have every detail planned, but broad scope.
Broad scope, yeah. And I think that's a pretty important reason to save the dates. It's also a great place to show off your engagement pictures.
Yes.
If you choose to do that. Not everybody does, but it's a great place to show those off too. So about how much of the budget should people reserve for save the dates and your whole paper budget? What do you suggest?
Well, I see a lot of different things. I would say anywhere from 15 to 30% for your save the dates. And when we say paper budget, we're talking full scale invitations, calligraphy, day of paper, like your programs, your signage, anything printed.
I'm so glad you brought that up because I think a lot of people forget that paper budget also includes your stamps. I mean, all of your postage, which gets pricey when you really, it adds up quick. So making sure that you look at that total budget and then deciding how much you want to dedicate to the save the dates. And honestly, I feel like more of our clients are putting emphasis on the save the dates. It's not just a quick piece of paper that's going out. They want that first tangible thing of the wedding to really mean something. So make sure that if it's important to you, allocate a certain chunk of the budget for those save the dates. And don't forget, if you're doing calligraphy, that's fine, but you don't have to. You can gather your bridesmaids and address them. So it's up to you. But that's always, that's always a fun night, and then sticking your stamps on the save the dates. So but do you think that it's important for the save the dates to be cohesive with the whole suite? Do they need to match the invitations? Do they need to flow with the invitations?
I think that there's a variety of different ways you can go. Of course, it's very personal to the wedding itself, the couple. I usually see the more formal the wedding, the more the save the date and the invitation tend to very closely go together. But I like to say with our clients, your save the date can be where you have more fun. Let's try to match the save the date to the wedding itself instead of necessarily like, well, if we did this on the save the date, we have to do this on the invitation. Sometimes your invitation design doesn't get fleshed out for a little while. You want to put a whole lot of thought and effort into it. And so, just matching the save the date can be a little limiting. So, your color scheme for your wedding should probably already be in place by that point. So
one of the first things you probably want to look at.
Probably, you want to nail that down. Whenever we work with clients, if we're, talking with our stationery designer, we definitely have a color scheme in place. We have general feels of what we're going for, whether it's modern or very feminine or very soft and cool. There's a few themes we've got already working. So really, and take in consideration where your wedding is. If it's a really interesting location, or maybe your parents' home, or there's so many different things that can play into your save the date. So maybe play on that, then let your invitation speak on its own. But generally, if you're matching your wedding, the whole thing's going to be cohesive. You don't really have to stress too much about it.
I mean, I feel like a save the date is successful if it speaks to that day, and that's what you want to hear from guests, like especially after the wedding, and people say, you know what, that paper, like, it really gave me the feels for your day, and that always makes me happy when I hear that from clients. So
and when you see the couple shine through a lot,
absolutely.
So it's really fun to see that personality come in, and I'm like, oh, that's them.
Successful save the dates. Yes. So back to the postage, and we're talking about postage. So always make sure that you take that into your budget. But when do the save the dates actually mail? When should you send them out for the average wedding?
We say anywhere from 6 months to 8 months out.
What if it's a destination wedding?
Destination, definitely more like 8 months.
Okay.
There's a lot more to have to coordinate on your guests' end of it to make sure they have their travel figured out. So really 8 months is your kickoff point.
I think that's a good time too. I will say I've noticed lately that there's been shorter engagement periods for some of our clients. And I've had some clients ask us if it's we're getting down to like 5 months, 4 months. Can they still send a save the date? And I think, your guest. if that's something you want to do, especially if hotel information, 4 months still gives them plenty of time to book, much more so than the 8 weeks before mailing invitations.
Right.
So it's still not a bad idea if you know that you want to save the dates, you can do that. But we both agree, I think we've talked about this so many times, but 6 to 8 months is like the sweet spot of when you want to save the dates.
And look, we've had all kinds of planning timelines from 3 months.
You really have. You've had some quick turnarounds.
Yeah.
I'm so amazed. Y'all, I tell Julie all the time, like, wedding planners, they are a special breed. Like, there is no way on God's green earth that I could do what she does. Like, it would not happen. So I'm in my right place as a stationer. She is in her right place as a wedding planner. Julie has pulled off acts of God as a wedding planner. I'm not kidding.
Well, let's just put it out there, and for almost every planner that I know, whatever your timeline is, whatever your situation is, there's no like, you can't do that because, they're just, what do you want to do? We're going to make it happen.
Right.
If you're 30 days out, maybe not. But
because a little close.
There's also this really fun thing called the USPS that is slightly unpredictable.
Oh, tell me about it. Jeez.
So we can't make miracles happen on that end most of the time.
Yeah, once they're in the hands, you know what? When I dropped off my save the dates and my invitations to the post office, literally like in tears handing it off to the postal worker, I was like, I worked really hard on these. Please, like, let me go back in the room with you as we hand cancel them together. And he would not let me, and I just had to like pray really hard that it actually made it out, and they did. But you always want to make sure you pillow in some time for the actual delivery of your paper. So
we've gone as far as like making as close of a relationship as we possibly can with whoever is working at that particular post office. Like, please.
There's like, it's so funny because here in Birmingham, like every post office is different. So like they really are. So I know that like the downtown location, that's where I took my wedding invitations. There's certain other branches that you don't go to. So you might want to ask around wherever you are, ask around and see. You can even, probably ask your day of planner if you have a day of planner, month of, and they can direct you on that. Yeah. Every post office is different.
Yeah, we've learned a few things in pretty much all of our markets.
That's a good tip.
Just so you know, for our Auburn brides, go to the Opelika post office. There you go.
Yes, and if you're in Birmingham, I really loved the downtown location.
Yes, downtown Birmingham.
It was great. Because that's where, isn't that where if all the posts, don't all of them send their stuff to the downtown location and then they go out?
I think
isn't that, So just take it directly there and then it takes one step out.
Yep.
So about the save the date, what makes a save the date different from the invitation? Like, we know that it serves a purpose of like getting the date out there, but like, do they look the same? Talk about that.
There is, because it's less formal, there's pretty much no rules. Whereas like in your invitation, the etiquette, the rules, so to speak, are a bit more rigid. So
you're not putting like the time of the ceremony. You're not putting, you know, the formal information on it like you would the invitation.
So there's some things like you want to put your wedding website on your save the date, or whether you're doing a single card save the date, which can limit how much space you have to actually like list things out, which is when we recommend go to the website. Just go to the website, here it is. Or if you're doing a more involved, let's say you're having a destination wedding where no one, or maybe few of your guests know much about the location, so you want to include more about where they're coming to, directions how to, maybe even where to fly into, or the main hotel, maybe some information about that hotel.
It's all things that would be really difficult to get into the full suite for the invitation, and really information they need to know beforehand anyway. So,
or if there's, crazy enough, some people are not web savvy still.
That's true.
Hey, Grandma. But if that's the case, and if your location has any complications in terms of logistics of how to get to, which we have more often than you would think, that you need to relay, hey, no, it's serious.
Yeah, we need to get our travel plans down.
You need to book in that blog.
Yeah,
let's get this done.
I still have a few clients here and there. They ask if a wedding website is important, and I know, it is a website, but there are like a lot of free options, and I always tell clients, definitely have a website, because it's not just talking about you and how you met.
Right.
It's all of these really important details that your guests need to know. And the save the date directs them there. It takes them to that website. I do have clients that still put website cards or a reference to the website somewhere in the invitation suite.
Yes.
But I feel like when it's on the save the date, it really takes care of that completely, because it stays on the fridge of your guests, and they can go ahead and make their plans however they need to. So, and I guess, even when it comes to the invitation, if at that point, if you figure out that there's like a parking issue or something at the venue, you can, reiterate the website there. But for the most part, it's taken care of on your save the date.
And there are some things too that, planning evolves just like anything else. Like I said, you're going to have your broad strokes together by the time you send your save the date out. But let's say, once you're into printing your actual invitations, you realize, oh yeah, of course we're going to put information about shuttle schedule on the website, but we need to make it clear to guests that there are shuttles.
Yes,
so
definitely.
Let's put a details card in there, talk about, transportation will be provided from host hotel, whatever. Also, please go to our website.
Yes, please.
There's more info.
Okay, as far as color for 2019, because I just made a post about it yesterday and I made my prediction, but what are you thinking for, what is this year's color? What is it?
Well, I don't know. I feel like we're a little insulated in the South. South doesn't necessarily hop on trends, so to speak. In terms of color, I'll say that. In terms of color, but I do think that more, a few stronger colors, and I think that the fall is a lot more color rich than spring.
Yeah,
Our
agreed.
spring clients don't necessarily, go full on bold color, but our fall clients will definitely pull in more, I think.
Do you see the deep,
See, mustard. Mustard's going to be a color.
I love mustard right now, and I bought a mustard colored dress from Target. It's really cute.
Yeah.
And I brought it home, and Tyler was like, it's so yellow. I was like, because that's on trend. So
let me tell you.
It's so yellow.
Mustard for sure. And when I see color happening, it's really more in the grand overall design, using it in your paper, using it. I don't necessarily think that putting your bridesmaids in mustard is the way to go.
No. Don't do that. I had to take the dress back. It doesn't complement my hair color, apparently. I was a little pale too. So
Did you only ask Tyler?
One friend too, and she said take it back.
Okay. I still don't believe it, but it's good.
Well, it's probably not a color that complements everybody across the board on the body, but I think on paper it would be really nice.
And there are so many colors that play with mustard.
Oh, yeah.
In your floral design, in your linens, in paper, there's so many colors because you can trend towards the true mustard. You can go into an ochre, a bronzy look. You can. There's a lot of room.
I'm loving
pink with it.
Bronze this year. Bronze is my new metal.
Bronze is great.
Oh my gosh, it's it really is my favorite. Going into this year, because I feel like we went through this gold thing, and then we went into an antique gold and a brassy gold, and we're slowly rolling towards bronze. And now I feel like this is bronze's year. I'm really excited about it.
It's a little more toned down.
Yes, it's that
real
subtle.
Life.
Yes, subtle, real life.
Yeah,
it's so nice, and I think perfect for fall.
Oh yeah. I think, green is going to stay a thing. It's not going to
Do you think green's becoming a classic? Do you think it's becoming in the same realm as how gray became a classic for ink colors, and
yes,
navy definitely became a classic too? I think green's becoming that also.
I think it was already there, but also kicked off by Megan and Eugenie.
Definitely.
Megan used all the green in her florals, and then Eugenie had green in her bridesmaids. So
which one did you like better? I honestly, there's parts of Eugenie's wedding that I just was like gaga over. I think it was. I loved her dress. I know that you didn't, but I did not.
I did not. I liked the back of her dress.
Yes.
And let's all get this straight. I think that you can objectively like or not like someone's fashion and still like the person.
Y'all, if you follow Julie, she may not put her face on Insta stories all the time, but she makes fashion posts and she will ask your opinion, and she gets into like real in-depth convo about.
So my mother was a seamstress, and while
sense.
that doesn't necessarily make me a fashion expert, but I do feel like I understand fit and I understand silhouette. So like, let's just.
I saw when you posted about Eugenie's, and like Eugenie's, I think it was like a fair split. Like there were some people that just loved it and other people that didn't. And I saw that conversation on Facebook, and it was a pretty good little convo you had going there. So
and get opinionated.
Yeah,
just watch out.
Totally. Always follow Julie during awards season.
Yes.
Because
awards
like
season.
Oscar, all that, follow her because she'll talk about all of it, and y'all can talk about clothing together. So I just observe, I just watch. But I'm a bystander when it comes to that. So,
while I'm sitting on my couch and stuffing my face full of popcorn or something,
hate her dress.
What an
hate
awful
that.
Dress.
Hate that. More popcorn.
But I also think that Megan's dress wasn't necessarily the classic hit that I think people want it to be. But her floral design was absolutely, top. So all the green, but it wasn't just greenery. There was still flowers.
Yeah.
There was still the white blooms in it, and it was just it was perfectly done.
Do you know, after I watched that wedding, that was 2 months before our wedding, and I texted our florist Kathleen, I said, new plan, and she and she was like, I don't know if you know how much that costs. I was like, you're right, let's scratch it. But it is, I love the tone that set, and it's really carried through with some of our clients' weddings this past year after the royal wedding. So,
and what's really interesting too, when you look at her floral design, and I know this is not necessarily save the dates, but
you could have a watercolor on your save the dates that reflects those flowers. So
what's so wonderful is when you look at scale and proportion, and what it was still natural and organic feeling, but it was to grand scale.
Yeah.
And so if you take that and you think about, even in your paper, all right, scaling of, how, if you're doing a watercolor on your save the date, then it's going to speak to this piece of the wedding.
Definitely.
And take that and run. So there's a lot of things that you can take from a royal wedding.
You'd be really surprised, like when we talk about trends, the things that can really translate to paper. It really is surprising. And I know, like we said before, one of the biggest things that I heard from our wedding guests was, wow, your wedding suite really spoke for your day. Like I felt like I was there. And then when they actually came to the ceremony and the reception, I feel like we did that. That's the main goal of paper for me, at least. That's what I want our paper to translate, a story for our clients' wedding day. So yeah. Are there any other overall trends for 2019 that you're into?
See, overall trends. I would say texture over any specific, trend. Velvet is still a big thing, and velvet is for all seasons. I've used velvet in spring, summer, fall, whatever. Velvet is great.
That feel.
The feel, and it also takes color really well, and it has tones in it, so you can see a little bit of different shades depending on what angle you're standing at. So, but you could also bring that into your paper. What if this was velvet?
I mean, oh my gosh, it'd be. Wait, is velvet the new silk? Do I need to order some more velvet ribbon?
Or velvet backer to something, or a liner.
Yes.
Yeah, you can get really luxe.
You could. Yeah. Ooh, I love that.
Yeah, acrylic has been big for a long time.
Yeah, acrylic.
I don't know. I mean, I've seen a lot of acrylic. There, I don't think that there's a whole lot to invent on top of what's already being done. As wood, bringing in wood for, I mean, we've had actual wooden invitations before. it can be done. So there's just a lot of different things when it comes to textures. So
all about the feel.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. I love that. Well, this is a lot shorter than our normal coffee combos. We'll probably keep talking after I hit stop record, but we are so happy that you joined us for our first ever coffee convo. It's been a great one. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Y'all tune in for many more, and there's going to be some little bullet points down below if you want to read along. And I will see you next time. Or on the Insta Stories. You'll see Julie on Insta Stories.
Are we inviting?
Oh, yeah. Oh, one more thing. So part of this is Julie has to invite a guest for next month. So tell me a recommendation. Who do you think we should bring on? Tag them. Who's it going to be?
Well, have you already talked to him?
No, not yet. Well, yes, kind of.
Okay.
Kathleen?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't want to put anyone on the spot.
It's Kathleen!
Kathleen Garner with
You've been tagged.
Designs.
You've been tagged.
She's an amazing florist and also
she is my florist.
Wedding florist. We love working with Kathleen.
She's the one that I texted after Megan and Harry.
Like I was really like a little stressed out. Like, what if I say it? She has no idea.
Kathleen, I would love to have you on my show. So, but yeah, so we're gonna try and get Kathleen on here and talk about flowers. So, but I'm so glad that Julie was able to open this up for us. It's been awesome, and
thanks for having me. This is great.
This starts your new year, getting your face on camera.
Yeah, not as stressful as I've been really stressed. So like face on the camera thing.
It's super easy. All right, y'all. Signing out. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.